Self-love motivation is so important in our lives. I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can shift your way of thinking to welcome more positivity into your world. The first self-love mind shift is to forgive your past, or most importantly, forgive yourself in your past. We've all done things, like I could list a ton of them, that we are not proud of, that we're like, why did I do that? That was so stupid, or why did I say that? What I said hurt somebody. What I said offended somebody. What I did, I can't take back. It's done. The past is in the past. Here's what I want you to do. Forgive yourself. Talk to yourself in the past and say, yeah, you may have said something that you shouldn't have said. I've learned from that. I'm not going to say it again. I've learned from that. I'm going to say it differently. I've grown from that. I don't need to speak that way anymore. Or I've grown from my mistakes, and what a blessing it is that I'm not still doing that same pattern over and over. I want you to, in your mind, flip your mistakes, flip those flaws, if you will, and realize that our mistakes are sometimes our greatest teachers. They teach us how to be better. They teach us to grow. They make us stronger. They make us more kind to other people. So go back to things that you're holding on to and think of it like luggage. Do you want to keep carrying it around, or are you going to say, I held you for a long time. I'm going to put you down today. I'm going to let you go. I've carried it for too long. Go into your past and say, you did what you knew what to do at the time, and now you know better, so you'll do better. You'll be better. You'll do differently. If we keep holding on to our past mistakes, we're never going to move forward. Just like that luggage, we're just going to keep carrying it around. So leave it there, acknowledge it. Make any corrections you have to. If there's an apology for something in the past that you need to acknowledge with someone else, do that. Leave that there. And don't carry it into the present, and for sure don't carry it in the past, because sometimes we're carrying stuff that nobody knows we're carrying. We're walking around with that luggage and nobody has any idea that we're still carrying it, that we still feel bad about a situation or something we said or something we did, or even something that we perceive that we did. Leave it behind. Forgive yourself, forgive your past, and acknowledge yourself in the past and say, thank you for teaching me to be better. Thank you for all these lessons that have made me bigger, better, and stronger. Our second piece of self-love motivation is this: love little you. I've often told people when they're doing self-esteem exercises and self-love exercises to go back to when you were 3. No matter what age you are now, look at yourself like you're with your younger self when you were 3. You're so cute, you're amazing, you've got the whole world ahead of you. You're having naps, you're reading, you're at the library, you're having snacks. Life is good. And you just want to cherish that kid and give that kid the world. Why? Because that kid's amazing. That kid has adventures ahead, a whole world ahead. That little you can plan their entire future. Everything's attainable. Nothing's off the table. Everything's fine. And you know what? If they make a mistake, what do we do as adults? We help them, we guide them, we love them. We're like, let's not do that again. Let's try it differently, because they're learning, they're growing. So I want you to think back to the kindness and love that you would have if you were holding the hand of little you there at 3, looking up at you, trusting you to guide them on a journey, an adventure that is life. Would you read to them in bed? Would you snuggle on the couch? Would you treat them with TLC when they're sick? Of course you would. How you would treat little you is how you need to treat yourself now, because that little you is inside. It's never left. He or she is still there. So I want you to go back in time and realize how much love you have for this little beautiful human who has a lifetime of adventure ahead. I want you to have patience When little you would say something that's so off the wall or mimic something that wasn't quite right, you're not going to scold that child. You're going to help that child. You're going to help them grow, help them learn, help them evolve, help them be a kind human being. The patience that you would have for little you, have for yourself. Have that love. So the next time you feel self-love doubts creeping up, bubbling up, I want you to think about how you would treat yourself if your 3-year-old little you was right beside you. What would you say? What would you do? What level of patience would you have? What level of kindness would you have? What level of love would you have? And while you're with little you, what lit up little you as a kid? Is it something you still do now, or is it something you forgot about? Is it art? Is it a sport? Is it wandering? Is it daydreaming? Is it building a fort? Go back to those things that lit up little you. Have a conversation, so to speak, with your 3-year-old self and go back to what lit you up and what brought you peace. It could be something as simple as you need a nap now in the afternoons to function better. Good. Get back to that. You need story time at night. Good. Turn off the TV and read a chapter of a book. Go get some finger paint and just get messy. Get back to what lit little you up, but also know that little you looks up to you with such love, admiration, and trust. And you can do no wrong in this kid's eyes. Feel that energy, because that energy is you. Here's your kid, here's you. You're always one. The third mind shift is speak kindly to yourself. Here's some things to think about. If you find yourself having negative self-talk and you're putting yourself down, think about this. If you had a social media feed, would you want people to put negative comments in there? You'd feel awful, right? If you did the same to somebody else, they'd feel awful. You would feel bad putting it there. Think about if you were to get those comments that you say to yourself in your feed, how would you feel? And shift it. Shift that entire mindset in your mind. So if you're going to say something like, oh, I'm so mad at myself, I can't believe I did that, and harp on it over and over and over and go, okay, I did something I'm not proud of. I've apologized. I'm changing the energy. I'm changing the way I do things, and I'm not going to do that again. I've learned from that mistake and I'm moving on. Find ways in your way of thinking to say you're sorry for it to a person or to the universe. I've learned from it. I'm changing my energy, and this is how I'm going forward. Like with the little 3-year-old version of yourself, you would never speak harshly to that child because the child's learning. Think about how you would speak to a young child and the kindness and the patience and the empathy you would have for teaching a lesson or learning new things, and speak that way to yourself. Another way to think about it is this. Your best friend thinks you are the bomb. Your best friend thinks that you are the best person on this planet. Your best friend is not going to cut you down and say all kinds of negative things about you. And you're not going to say that to your best friend. So if you wouldn't say something to your best friend, don't say it to yourself. If you find yourself thinking or saying or feeling something in your head, say, would I say this to my best friend? You wouldn't. And then you say, would I say this to my best friend? Would I say this to little me? No. And it's a good way of bringing yourself back to a place of self-love and self-care for your emotions. Another really great way to speak kindly and to think kindly of yourself is through affirmations. I have several videos and I've got them listed in the comments below, so please look thereafter because there's something there for everybody. But affirmations get us thinking and feeling a different way about ourselves. So usually they are with I am. I'm going to do some in the future with you are, because I know for some people it's hard to get to the I am because you feel like you're saying it and it's not resonating. But I want you to keep trying, even if at first you feel like you're just saying it and it's not feeling true. The more you say it, the more it's going to land in your heart, mind, body, and soul and feel true. So something as simple as saying every day, I am powerful. My words matter. I matter. I'm important. I am loved. I am unique. I can come up with some more affirmations and I'll be creating more throughout the years, but just know that the more you sprinkle love on words and the more you feed them, so think of your words like a garden, and the more sunshine and the more water and the more TLC they get, the more they grow. So just know, as you start words of affirmation and words of kindness in your life, that the more that they get a little attention, the more they're going to grow, they're going to become beautiful, and the easier they are going to be able to say, but to really feel and then believe. I will leave you with this little bit of self-love motivation. Your vulnerabilities, your quirks, those are all your superpowers. And those are what make you uniquely you. There's only one of you on this earth, and life is so much more fun that way. We all don't want to be the same because that would be so boring. And just remember, what makes you uniquely you is what your friends and family and coworkers and everyone around you love so much about you. So love yourself through all time and space, the past, present, and the future, and speak and think about yourself with kindness always. Until next time, I'm sending you light and love, and I will see you in the next video.